And wait, 1 second. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our current affairs. And we are group 5, consisting of Vibisha, Sai, Shriya, Darsh, and myself. My name is Harold, if you don't know. And yeah, our topic is poverty. Uh, just as Charles Darwin said, if the misery of the poor is caused not by laws of nature but by our institution, great is our sin.
So this quote technically states that every single time a person will probably blame poverty for due to natural reasons or it's the person's fault that they are poor. But most of the time that's caused by our what we do as people with urbanization and other reasons like that.
So, what is poverty? So, poverty is when an individual cannot afford basic requirements for a standard living.
Now we're going to show a video relating to it. Small one.
Ma'am, the video is muted.
Yeah, there might be no sound.
Oh, is it okay? It's okay. I understand.
Vidisha, the video is muted.
Okay, it's okay. You can just listen. Now we're going to go to the next part on what causes poverty. So one of the main causes of poverty is a lack of social awareness. Most of the time, the urban people don't even know about the poverty rate that is there in their surroundings and thus causing the lack of social awareness. Another one is like overpopulation. As shown in this image, overpopulation is more like a ticking bomb that can blast any second. Overpopulation causes a lot of problems like unemployment since many people will be living in one city or state. Illiteracy. Illiteracy also happens in many conditions where people are not provided enough education, thus are not given jobs, leading to poverty. Unemployment. Many times people are biased on who they employ. They can be biased on gender, caste, or if they're specially able people. There are even different types of inequalities. As seen in the first image, for a man, the path is already laid out for him, but a woman, she has to build her own path. And in the second image, you can see there are many small communities which will be considered as the poor, and this is one big person will be considered as a rich. There's different inequalities for the rich and different for the poor, and they're given different opportunities. Another one is climatic changes. As quoted like previously as Sir Charles Darwin had said, how many reasons which man are doing are also the causes of poverty. Climatic changes is also one of the causes of poverty, since many people will have tornadoes, droughts, etc., which will make them to lose their homes, their family, thus leading to poverty. I hand it over.
So the first type of poverty is a situational poverty. So this is basically caused by something which relating to our social base or our economy. And situational poverty is a type of poverty that it just hits people. So in this case, people have to live with few resources because they're unaware. Yeah, Vibisha.
Nishaba.
So there are two main types of situational poverties. The first type is clinical poverty, which is usually based on, like I said, something that related to our economy or our social base. And the other type is based on assets. So in this, basically, when we know someone who's facing poverty, and he or she is our source, because of him or her we get situational poverty. That is a type of poverty, you can say, based on assets. I hand it over to Vibisha.
Another type of poverty is called urban poverty. As we know, the world is urbanizing a lot these days, which is relating to another type of poverty called urban poverty. So, since the world's growth rate is increasing rapidly, so many people have to go through a lot of struggle to actually fit in with the urban life and meet and reach the qualities that people now, reach the qualities that people now expect from every person. So, an example would be Sumer, who's a rickshaw puller in Delhi. He's nearly 60 years old, and the only thing that he has in Delhi are like a few utensils, a small stove, a bucket, very few resources. And he can only visit his family twice in a year, who live very far away in his village. So, 1.4 urban residents live in a slum. An example would be Mumbai, which is a huge slum and it's still a huge problem that has become like more like a tourist destination. So urban poverty has certain patterns of growth. Even though it has declined over the past decades, the numbers keep adding up. What are the effects of urban poverty? The effects of urban poverty include like overcrowding, poor quality, then also like lack of sanitation, which is leading to diseases. There's also difficulty in accessing all emergency areas like polices and hospitals. There's also a risk of disasters due to the climatic changes. And the causes of urban poverty are also sanitation, then there's overcrowding, and there's increasing access to healthcare and education is not given to all people, only given to mostly urban people, and rural people are not given these qualities. I now hand it over to Shreya.
Rural poverty is also a major problem around the whole world. So, many of the world's poorest people live in the rural area. And also, by the findings of the 11th National Development Plan, more than 300 million people are labeled as poor. So, there are mainly two causes of rural poverty. So, most of the people in the villages are dependent on agriculture. So they're also dependent on the monsoon rains. But the monsoon rains can be unpredictable. The late monsoon rains can cause a drought, causing all the crops to dry. And also excessive rain can cause the farms to flood, and hence the crops will die due to oversaturation of water. So hence people will have to take a loan which they might not be able to repay.
Dash?
Yeah. Child labor basically means that the children from the age of 5 to 14 are made to work. Every child deserves to have a childhood that is fun and very educational, but due to the overpopulation, many children even don't get the basic rights needs. On the World Day Against Child Labor 2020, which is on June 12 every year, we take a look at where India stands on the matter of child labor. Now I pass it over to Sai.
So, relative poverty. So, relative poverty basically occurs when you don't even have the minimum wage or minimum income that you need to maintain your standard of living, which is basically like how the community around you or how everything is around you. And when people are not able to measure up to standard of living around them, they are said to be impoverished. And because of this, the relative poverty is known as the easiest way to measure the poverty in a place or in a state or in a country. Now I hand it over to Shreya.
So there are many uh, effects of poverty. So hunger can be one. So since poor people need to work the whole day to earn money, they might not earn much money as their things would not sell a lot. So hence they won't be able to buy or afford enough food for themselves and their family. This also leads to homelessness. Illnesses, They also live in places which are not hygienic, which makes them prone to many diseases. Unemployment. So, since the poor people might not get enough education, or people would think them as illiterate, they might not get any employment in many places. All of this also leads to discrimination.
So, how to reduce poverty? Don't be biased and give jobs to all, including migrant workers, men and women, and also specially able people. So here it's basically talking that saying that we shouldn't be biased about the people who work as laborers or people who have come, basically migrant workers from other places and differently abled. Increase the employment. So in most offices, people are people who come from a poor family or from a poor background, or uh, are generally discriminated and are not given job opportunities. Put an end to poverty tax. So yeah, so poverty tax is like when basically that's not something that most poor people or people living in slums can afford. Raise the minimum wage is like, so we all know that in most places or where poor people work, they don't get much income. So if we are able to raise their income, it might help them in time of need, or it might prevent poverty from hitting them.
Another way for reducing poverty, as discussed, was one of the causes of poverty was climate change. So if we generally, like it's saying here, building resilience like climate. So if we make ourselves resilient in climate change and if we stop it, if we put an end to it, it can really help people all over the world. And poverty is most likely like to occur when there's a high combination of marginalization and risk. So this usually means like the next point is about war and conflict. So there's very risks around them, including climatic changes, then war, and random people just coming and hitting them, and also about urban people coming and judging them, thus making like how slaves used to be treated in the past by getting hit. That way here also it still happens in the recent community. Ending war and conflict can be a really huge change. It can really put an end to poverty, since war is one of the main reasons why people lose their home, their money, their family. And if we put an end to this, many people can, like they can save the budget in which they spend for all the weapons and all, like paying for the people or refugees who have lost their families. And this money can instead be used for the betterment of the country. Thank you.